Hi everyone. So first of all, let me introduce something about myself. I am Minh Ngoc and I am from Vĩnh Lộc High School. And as we regroup and get back into the realm of learning, I would like to take a moment today to review 4 basic tenses of the English language. And I also believe that understanding this foundation will set the tone for our exciting academic year ahead. And together we will revisit the present and the past tenses today. So let's get started. For this slide, it will provide you 4 parts of our lesson today. The very first one is about booting the time machine. This is for introduction part. Number 2, we will have today's adventure. It's about the tense overview. Number 3, we have time challenges. It will provide you some practice exercises. And the last one is for time wrap up. This is about Q&A part. Okay, so let's go. So let's move to the very first tense. It's about the present simple tense. And we are diving deep into the world of the present simple tense. And I'm sure many of you might wonder why it is called simple. It's because of its versatility and straightforward nature, I think, which you will come to appreciate more as we dive into it. So let's start with its use. The very first use is about the habits, or in other words, action we do repeatedly like brushing our teeth every morning, or another use is about the permanent states, facts that remain true over time, such as the sunrise in the east, or maybe it's about the general truths, or about the rains and timetable. And here are some commonly used phrase or demonstration of the words which we can use with this tense. Maybe always, usually, every day, every week, every month, every year, or on Mondays, on Tuesday, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, or at night, or at the weekend. Now let's move to the next one. Yeah, so the formula for constructing a sentence in the present simple tense is pretty straightforward, and we will start with the subject here. Yeah. And followed by the base form of the verb here. And if there is also a small change here. So if the subject is a third person singular like he or she or it, we will add s or es in the end of the verb. And let's solidify with this example. The very first example is she reads the news every day. So here our subject is she, yes. And because she is a third person singular, so we notice the s in the end of the verb reads. And this sentence describes a habit. She doesn't just read the news once, she does it every day, so making it a habit. And let's move to our next example. Dogs love sticks. So the subject here is dog. And because it's plural, so we use the base verb love here without an s in the end of the verb. So this statement emphasizes a permanent state, a general truth, if you will, about the dogs and their affection for sticks. So let's move to the next slide. Okay, so the next tense we will mention about is about the simple continuous tense. So we will have some uses for this tense. The very first one is about the action happening now, for some actions happening now. So if you are currently doing something while speaking, so this is your go-to tense. For example, I am speaking to you. And for the second one, it is about the temporary action. So for the activities that aren't permanent and are happening currently, like he is staying in Paris for a week. something like this. And the last one, so for fixed arrangement or in the near future. So it might surprise some, but yes, this tense can indicate a future plan here. Yes. For example, we are meeting her tomorrow, something like this. And there are some certain words or phrases that are essential for this tense. So for immediate future life, now, right now, or at the moment. And for ongoing periods, we have this day or at present. And for future and arrangements, we will have tonight, tomorrow, next week, or next month. So let's move to the next slide. Yes, so for this slide, we will focus on the form of this tense, simple continuous tense. So the sentence will start with the subject here, and it will be followed by verb to be, is, are, and include with the main verb with ing in the end of the verb. And so right now, let's bring to this for some example. The very first example is she is calling her friend now. So for this sentence, she is the subject, and is to be verb and verb ing colon. And this sentence is about the action happening in the real time right at this speaking moment here. This is the usage of this sentence. And the second sentence is James is flying. So in this case, James is the subject, right? And is flying is the verb. James is for this, James is preparing for future events. So it's a fixed arrangement in the near future. Okay, so that's the end for the two tense for the present, and right now we will move to the next two tense for the past. So let's go. Yes, so right now we will focus on the next tense. It's the simple past tense. And what is its primary function? It's all about the capturing action that were completed in the past, as you can see here, and to identify when exactly this past action took place, we employ the 10 words or the phrases. So right now, let's explore a few. The first one is about the yesterday, 24 hours ago, in the past, a broad reference to any time before now, or in 2008, pointing to a specific year, or last week, or last night, or last month, referring to the most recent night, or week, or month that has passed. And a more duration, we have expression like 2 days or 2 weeks ago. Yes, with a very important word here, ago. So let's move to the next one. Yeah, to form a sentence in this tense, you will follow a clear recipe here. So it's very easy for you to see that we will start with the subject at the beginning of the sentence, and it will be followed by the past form of the verb. And here, this verb can be verb to here or verb ed. Yes. And so very simple, right? So let's say just in this example. So let's begin with the very first example here. We have the sentence she visited the market yesterday. And here she is the subject and the verb visit changed into the past form visited. Here we have verb ed here. And we also see a very important word here yesterday. It is also the signal words. It solidify the event in the past. Yes. So, and the next sentence or the next example here, we can see they travel by carriage in the past here. So in this instant, they is there with place is the subject and it's the pair with the past tense verb travel here, verb ed. And the phrase in the past here emphasize the historical nature of the action. And it's also the single words of this sentence too. So let's move to the next slide. It's focused on the next tense. It's about the past continuous tense. So what is this tense about? We will focus on the use first. The very first one, we will have found an action which was in the progress at the stated time in the past here. So for example, she was singing at 7 p.m. yesterday. Yeah. So for the next use, it will focus on foreign action which were in the progress when another action interrupted it. So for the event in the motion that got interrupted, for instance, I was reading the book when the phone rang. And the third one, for two or more simultaneous action in the past, for example, while he was studying, his sister were watching TV. And the last one, this can also used to describe the atmosphere, the setting in the introduction to a story before we describe the main events. For instance, the wind was howling and the children were playing as the story began. There are some certain phrases or some certain words which are very essential for this tense. The very first group is on about when, why, and as. They are often 4-hour connectors showing the simultaneous or interrupted action. And for duration, we also got the other group words on day, on night, or on morning. So now let's move on to the form of this tense past continuous. So it will begin with the subject here and it will be followed with words or word. So either words or word depending on the subject, the reverse subject. And after that, we will have verb INGs. So let's move into some example below. The example number 1, she was dancing at the ball at 8 o'clock last night. So for this sentence, we will have subject stand for she and for dancing are the verb with the verb was and verb ing dancing here. We also see another important word here is with 8 o'clock and last night. So it's also a certain moment last night. So at 8 o'clock or at 8 in the evening last night, she was in the midst of her dance. So this is an action which was in the progress at a stated time in the past. So that's all for the first example. Let's move to the example number 2. The example number 2, she was cooking dinner when the phone rang. So for this, we will say she is a subject, were cooking are the verb here. So this is an action which were in the progress when another action, the phone rang, interrupted it. Okay, so let's move to the next part. So are you ready to test your time traveling skill? Okay, so for the next part, I will give you some rapid exercises for you to review on the tenses theory you have just learned in the reverse one. Okay, so let's get started. Yes, so let's put what we have learned to the test, and I got a test for you here. So let's check your understanding of the two tenses about the simple present tense and simple continuous. So here is the sentence. Every day she read comics. So I will give you two options. The first one, A, is reading, and the next one, B, reads. Okay, so I will give you some second for you to think about your own answer. And after that, I will give you the correct one. So let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, one. Okay, so let's see here. So for this sentence, we can say a very important word here is every day. So we can think about simple present tense here. And because she is the third singular person, and so we have to use yes. The correct answer is B. Rick was S in the end of the verb here. Okay, so let's move to the next one. So go on to the next test, everyone. Let's keep that energy going and dive deeper into your understanding of the same two set tenses, the simple present tense and the present continuous tense. So here is your sentence. At this moment, a bird flies south, and there are two choices. A are flying and B fly. So take a moment and decide on your answer. And then I will show you the correct one. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so let's check. So for this sentence, we will focus on the signal words at this moment, right? So this will guide you to your choice or your answer because it's referred to the tense present continuous. And the verb here, this word is plural with S in the end of the word. So we have to use, yes, the option A, are flying, with the verb to be are and the verb ing are flying after that. Okay, so let's move on. Yeah, so let's continue our time travel with the test number 3. And we are exploring the differences between simple past and the past continuous, right? So here is your sentence. Yesterday, they go to the fair. And your options are went and were going. So please choose wisely and let's see if your answer is right or wrong. So let's go. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so let's check your answer. So because we can see the given clue here yesterday, yes, and it's referred to the simple past here. So we have to put or change this verb into the past form. So we have go here for verb 1, went for verb 2, and gone for verb 3. Yes, so of course the answer is went. Okay, so congratulations for the student who had the right answer. So right now, let's move to the next exercise for you. So our focus still remains on the two tenses for simple past here and past continuous. So focus on this situation. She sang when the rain began, right? And we have also two choices here, A sang and B was singing. Okay, so time for you to think about it. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so let's see here. So because we can see here a very important word when, and you can think about this is maybe about one action was ongoing when another one started. And for this use and the tense which best capture for this sentence is past continuous. Yes. And because she is a singular third person, so we have to use the verb to be was here and followed by the verb ing singing. So those are on the tenses for the written exercise today. And for this slide, I would like to say is because the journey to master on the tenses, it will continue. So I hope you guys will try to keep practicing to be a tense master at home. And the last word I would like to say is thank you so much for you for listening to me today. Bye bye everyone.